everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Anubhuti and I love to talk about everything beauty related. I love to do product reviews and I love to get use out of my makeup collection more efficiently. So if those are the things you are interested in, please make sure to subscribe before jumping into today's video. Last month has been like super busy. So yeah, I missed an update last month. I did have all the preparation done for it, but yeah, I could not film it. Anyways, if you know from the title, today we are here with my Project 10 Uses update for month of July. July is just started and this is the video I like to post update for in earlier of the month. It's kind of my shop my stash version because I'm basically randomizing products from each category. So it's kind of my shop my stash. So foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, highlighter, face palettes, eyeshadow palette, eyeliner, liquid liner, like eyeliner, lip liner, liquid lipstick and bullet lipstick. So basically all the categories, most of the categories of the makeup I'm randomizing products from, and I'm assigning a 10 uses score on them. And I mostly use those base products, kind of like foundation and concealer. Definitely I'm using those ones on priority. So yeah, it's kind of my version of shop my stash kind of thing, but not exactly. So yeah, I was saying I missed an update last month. I've been super busy and I just don't know where my time went, where June went. I'm just like, literally I blinked and June was gone because I did make some changes in my schedule and I was kind of pre-recording my Tiny Decisions app randomization. So that part was already done as soon as I hit my goal, like in start of the month, but I wasn't getting time to film the video somehow. So yeah, but nevertheless, we are here today and I'm going to give you updates for 2 months because in June I wore makeup only 9 times. So of course I don't have many rollouts that I rolled in last month. So yeah, let's talk about first the products, like the updates last month and which I rolled kind of in month of June, but I never posted it. So for month of May, I had randomized my Smashbox Mini Healthy Glow all-in-one tinted moisturizer as my foundation pick. This is in the shade light and this is definitely a too light for me. Even at that point of time, I was just starting to get my like color to my skin, or like I'm started to get a little bit tanned. Now I'm more tanned. So of course in month of May I could still make it work because the concealer that was rolled in that month was slightly darker than my skin tone. So I was just making it work. Lighter foundation and darker concealer, just like making it work somehow. And I did manage to use it exactly 10 times in month of May. So I managed to hit my goal. This is a mini. I like to try, like I wanted to try it. I think Sarah Rose used to, yeah, rave about this one, I think. And then it has SPF 25, so that was also perfect because we were just starting to like transition from spring to summer. But yeah, I have my mixed thought about it. This doesn't go well on top of my sunscreen or any kind of primer. So this is tinted moisturizer and I can use it as a moisturizer, as a tinted moisturizer on its own. It doesn't work well on top of any other thing. So like any primer that I have, especially like the strobe cream or MAC base Lumiere, those are the primers I use. If I use then yeah, this did not go really well, and also this was not really working well with brushes. So yeah, this is really good, but then only for the days when I don't want to like probably dack up or foundation or something and I just want quick on the go. For those days it is fine. I do want to use it a little bit more, and once I am able to empty it out, this has 12 ml product, so once I'm able to finish it up completely, then I will have more thoughts about it. But definitely this did not work that well over my sunscreen or over any other primer. I'm okay to skip primer, but sunscreen not so much. So if this doesn't work well on top of sunscreen, then I'm just a little bit skeptical about using it in my like in summer. Anyways, the shade is too light, so then I will use it again in the winter and maybe share my thoughts about it then. But yeah, this is rolling out. I was on a tangent. And last month I randomized, of course it was a rollout last month. So then I randomized my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 118 Nude. And this is again a bit too light for me at this point of time. This is my perfect shade for winter months, like cooler months. But yeah, so then this is in the shade Nude. And it is currently a little bit too light for me, so then I'm definitely mixing it with other things. So then I have 8 uses on this so far. Today I'm wearing it mixing my ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, I think, the one in the bottle, and then the shade, because I bought online and in Europe or in India there are no like testers available for ColourPop, so then I ordered the shade online, and then it was a little bit too dark for me. I am like yet to find my perfect shade match for any foundation. I think Dior Skin Glow foundation, Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation shade 2.5N is my perfect match. And also surprisingly I match really well with MAC Serum foundation, Skin Radiance foundation in the shade NC18. Those seem to be like really good matches for me. I used to use Studio Fix NC20 and that was a little bit too yellow for me, but NC18 I think goes really well. So this is the foundation I'm talking about. This is ColourPop ColourPop No Filter foundation, and it is in the shade medium 85, and this looks pretty light in the bottle, but when I apply it on my face it's just like really deep on my skin. And then this is a little bit too light, so today I'm wearing this one first, and on top of it I just literally took a little bit of this one over the brush and then blend it out. I used to love this foundation, but I realized over the years that I don't prefer matte foundations. I prefer like the Skin Glow or serum based or those kind of foundation, because I think I am 38 now and my skin is, ever since I moved, I think because of the age, also because I moved to a different climate. I live in Netherlands now, and then the weather is making my skin a little bit drier than it used to, so my dry patches are more prominent like throughout the year. I still have combination skin, but I don't like the feeling of like matte foundation, how they sit on my like the pores or my like skin lines or something. I do not use primers. Maybe I should give try to those like the grippy primers or pore filling primers, but yeah, nevertheless. Whew, I'm super chatty today, but yeah, so then it has 8 uses on it, so then this is still staying in. So this month we don't have any rollouts. Now for concealer, NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer in the shade Golden. It was a tad bit too dark for me at that point of time, but I still managed to use it 10 times exactly. And then, so this was a rollout. So then again, last month I could randomize a concealer, and then the randomization was YSL Touche Éclat Radiant Touch. What is the shade? Shade number 2.5. So this is a little bit too light for me. So this month I have very light foundation and very light concealer, especially at this point of time. So I use it more of like, this is the concealer shade. As you can see, it's a little bit too light for me at the point of time. So then I am using it as a highlighting concealer, of course, but this is still staying in. This has also 8 uses so far, so I still have to use it 2 more times to roll it out. So next month for sure, but this month these are staying in. Now for the blush category, in month of May, I had Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Lola. And this is a beautiful like corally shade. You can see my tally is here. Last month, I think I had like 6 usage on that, and then I had to reach for it 4 more times. So in month of May, I reached for it 4 more times, marking a total like 10 uses on it. This is a beautiful shade. I do want to keep it pulled a little bit. Maybe I will pick up another one, but this is a beautiful coral shade, and I managed to hit my goal on of using it 10 times in last month. So then I had this as a blush rollout last month. So then last month I randomized my blush pick, and then that came out to be the Nudies Matte Luxe stick blush, and it is in the shade Rosy Posy. This is a beautiful kind of mauvey pinky shade. This is how it looks like. It's kind of a beautiful neutrally mauvey toned blush, and this I have used 2 times so far. So then I still have to keep it pulled. So this is also staying in. Now for the bronzer in month of April and May. I was working on my e.l.f. Bronzer in the shade Perpetually Tan, and this was quite a deep dark shade. Of April I had 4 uses on it, and in month of May I reached for it additional 7 times, marking a total 11 uses on this one. So this was also a rollout last time. I had a lot of rollouts and I did not manage to film it, so but nevertheless we are here. So then this was also a rollout last month. So then I again did a randomization last month for bronzer, and bronzer that was randomized was Dior Forever Natural Bronze. This is the older release, like from last year or last year, I don't remember when, but this is in the shade 05 Warm Bronze. And this is also a little bit like, I like that this is neutral toned. I don't prefer like yellowy bronzer, and this is also quite deep, so then this is perfect time of the year when it works for me really well. This is also buildable bronzer, so if you use a more fluffier brush, it will not deposit as intense on your face. So this is kind of, the formula is forgiving. You can use it lightly or you can build it up. So this has 5 uses so far, so then I still have to reach for it 5 more times. I am working on a lot of bronzers in different projects, so then that's why the progress is kind of scattered. But yeah, so then this has 5 uses so far, so this is still staying in. For the highlighter, I was working on Kiko Milano Charming Escape highlighter in the shade Sunrise Apricot. This is kind of a peachy golden highlighter, like blush topper or highlighter, putty texture kind of thing. And in April I had 7 uses on it, and then in May I reached for 6 additional times, marking total like 13 uses on this one. And I did get quite good uses on it. I am not really a fan of the formula. Like, this is a beautiful shade, but I do have the shade, like I have Pat McGrath shade, which is quite similar to this. The effect overall is same, and I think I also have Independence. I am going to do a swatch test. I'm not really fan of this formula, especially from the Kiko bronzer, because it's just really difficult to pick up with the brush or apply it. The application is not my favorite, so this will be decluttered by end of the year, but till then I want to get use out of it as much as possible. So then I did manage to reach for it 13 times, and this is also now part of my deck of panning project pan for the prompt broken, because this has like the broken packaging. So more reason I don't like to keep broken packaging. So yeah, this is beautiful, but I do have blush from the same range which has same packaging, so I don't mind getting rid of this one. But yeah, gold matte on this one. So this was also a rollout last time. So then I randomized my wheel for highlighter, and then the randomization was the Balm Mary Luminizer. Yes, I own it, and this has been unused in my collection for really long time. I bought it before COVID, when my husband went to US for a trip, and then I ordered a bunch of like balm stuff on 50% sale. So yeah, this has been in my collection for a really long time, and I have 2 uses on this so far. This has been also randomized last month, so I have 2 uses on this one. This matches me. This is really beautiful shade. Especially if you have tan skin, this is like really gorgeous. So then it can be used as lightly as a blush topper. So I do not like matte blushes for me. So if I'm using a matte blush, I like to use this as like gently on a fluffy brush, and then with the same brush that I use for blush application, and I just go over my blush, and that gives it perfect like luminosity. So that's how I like to use it. And also as a highlighter, of course, Mary Lou is OG. So yes, this is still staying in because this has been used only 2 times, so this is staying in the project. Now for highlighter we are done. For face palette, I have randomized my I was working on Pat McGrath Mothership Bijou Brilliance palette in the Starstruck Splendor, and this was randomized in month of May, and I had to reach for again. Last month I have reached for 2 times, and this month I have reached for 1 time so far, making total 3 uses so far. This is how it looks like. This is an eyeshadow eyeshadow and blush. So these kind of things, I make them part of my inventory in both the cases, like eyeshadow and face palette. So that's why it is randomized. And I also decided to do Nopal Nappy behind. I reached for this palette 4 times so far, and this blush I have reached for 3 times, and this blush I have reached for only 1 time. So you know, these are matte blushes, not my favorite, but that's how I used my Mary Lou one time to top it off. So yeah, I love this shade here. It's my favorite. This eyeshadow, it's really gorgeous. Okay, nevertheless, this is also still staying in the project. No, for single eyeshadow, I was working on my Kiko water eyeshadow in the shade 218. This is kind of a duochrome. I am not liking it. Maybe this particular shade, I tried using it, like, this is pretty warm for my liking. You know, this is a look. I have a ColourPop Arrow, like that is also a duochrome, and I prefer that one over this. This is just meh. I've used it like wet and dry, and then it is not as impactful as I would like it to be. So I am definitely decluttering it, but I would keep it in my collection. Maybe I can give it to somebody who would get more use out of it. But this is, I have used it 4 times only, and I decided to give up on it. I'm not reaching for it. So then last month I went ahead and I rolled a different eyeshadow, because I do want to get use out of my single eyeshadow collection and like my single eyeshadow crayons or pot shadows, because I don't own much, but whatever I own, they do not get as much use as they should. So then I went ahead and I randomized another eyeshadow last month, and that was my Faces All Time eyeshadow crayon in the shade Last Christmas. And this is a beautiful like tealy blue. You can see this is the color of the crayon. I love it. I wore it one time and I wore it on my lower lash line. Just a beautiful look, really beautiful pop of color. Also the perfect time for this eyeshadow stick to be used. So because in summer I love colorful eyeshadows. Of course, I love colorful eyeshadows all year round, like pop of color, not colorful eyeshadow. Let me correct myself. I do like a pop of color in my eyeshadow look, and most of the time I use that pop of color as my like lower lash line or as an eyeliner most of the times. So then I did get one use on this one in last month, but this is also still staying in. For kajal slash liner, the randomization was last month, I think month of May. I randomized my L'Oreal gel liner in the shade Chic Brown, and yeah, I have used it so far only one time, and so yeah, this is also still staying in. Then for the lip liner category, in month of April, so this was in month of April, this is in MAC lip liner in the shade Subculture. Yeah, so in April I used it 6 times, and in May I reached for it additional 4 times, marking 10 uses on this one. And last month I rolled it out and I rolled a new lip liner in, and that randomized to be MAC, again from MAC. I did buy a lot of MAC lip liners, I think end of last year, when I was getting like most lip liners on 11 euros for like their bestsellers. So yeah, I did pick up the lip liner in the shade Spice, and that was randomized, and that is also, have been reaching for it. I'm really loving the shade Spice. Let me swatch it for you. This is like beautiful shade. It's like my lips but better, and it's like really defining. You can use it with a lot of lipsticks, and this, I've been using it to tone down a little some of the colors that I'm using. But yeah, this goes really well with a lot of lipsticks. So I have already used it 7 times last month. So yeah, I used it almost every time I did my makeup. But yes, 7 uses on MAC Spice. So this is also staying in. Now for liquid lipstick category installment, I started working on my Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Jeffree Who. In month of April, I had 3 uses. In month of May, I have 3 uses, and then last month I reached for it one more time, and this was done. Like in 1 uses, this was gone. I'm not taking the stopper out because this is not something is my favorite shade or brand, to be honest. So yeah, I'm glad. So this is done. So that means in 7 uses, that means 7 days of use, this was done. So this is empty, and then I decided to pull another liquid lipstick that I was quite close to work on, and that is Lime Crime in the shade Riot. And this is also kind of a very forgiving shade. This is like a very easy to reach for shade. So then I have reached for it 10 times. So that means this is rolling out this update. So I have only one roll out this update, and I already picked up product in its place. The liquid lipstick that is randomized for the new month is Maybelline Matte Ink in the shade Ruler. ruler. I do think I used it last year as well, but this is also on my chopping block this year because this is also kind of similar shade. I used to love these kind of like, but I do find it now too deep on me. Like, I'm not enjoying it anymore. MAC, Mare, Ruler, Riots. These used to be like my favorite tones of nude, like the deeper spectrum of nude. But I prefer more like towards the lighter spectrum, more like velvety, like my lips with better kind of shades, more peachy toned shades on me. Something flipped. Before I used to love like a little bit of pinky toned. Now I'm preferring more peachy toned shades on me. So this is the Ruler and this is rolling in for 10 uses. Now for matte lipstick, bullet lipstick category, I was working on my Ruby Woo and I had 2 uses on it in month of April, and it still stays at 2 uses because I told you a lot of times I don't wear red very often or bold lipstick. I'm trying to be better. Red is something I've never reached for very often. So that is why I don't own many red lipsticks. This is a classic red. I don't know what is it about Ruby Woo. Whenever I wear Ruby Woo, it just flatters me really well. I know it flatters most of the skin tones, but whenever I apply Ruby Woo, at least one person ends up asking me what is on your lips. So I think I should wear it more often. But yeah, this is also staying in. So it is all over the place, lots of products rolling in, rolling out. Let's summarize. So foundation, I will be working on my Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless normal to oily skin with clay. I should not have bought this. This says normal to oily skin, but I bought it to be used in like warmer weather because then I get more sweaty and oily. Also, I managed to use up one shade 120 of this one. This foundation, I used it up completely before and now I'm not liking it. Maybe this is the new formulation with clay. This is the one I'm not liking it. The one before it did not have clay in it. Oh, I have to check my notes. Which was the one I had before? Let's do it again. For foundation, I will be working on my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 118 Nude for 2 more uses. So this is definitely going to be a rollout next time, I'm pretty sure. For concealer, I will be working on my YSL Touche Éclat foundation in the shade 2.5, concealer in the shade 2.5. And this is also at 8 uses, so I still have to use for 2 more times. So this is also, I think, will be roll out next time. For blush, I will be working on Nude Sticks blush stick. Sorry about in the shade Rosy Posy. I don't like the brush on this one, to be honest, because I do think if I use this brush, this is like so stiff that it picks up the product and doesn't blend that often. I prefer like a duo fiber brush for my cream blush application. But yes, I think for me I could have done without, and that is why I just sticked to like my tally sticky note here, so then I don't accidentally open that side. But yeah, blush, still have to reach for it 8 times. Not sure if this will be roll out next update. So this is, yeah, for 8 more uses. For bronzer, we will be working on Dior bronzer for 5 more uses. Dior Forever bronzer in the shade 05 Warm Bronze. For highlighter, we have Mary Lou, and I have to reach for it 8 times to roll it out. For face palette, I have my Pat McGrath Bijou Brilliance. Like, this is from the holiday release from 2023. Yes, so I still have to reach for it 7 more times. I have 3 uses on this so far. Yeah, so I have to use it 7 more times. So also staying in. For single eyeshadow, I have to reach for my Faces stick for 9 more times. So this is most likely will be staying in for the next update also. Then for my eyeliner, I have L'Oreal gel eyeliner for 9 more uses so far. For lip liner, I will be working on MAC Spice for 3 more uses. So this will be also a rollout next time for sure. For my liquid lipstick, I will be working on Maybelline Fit Me liquid lipstick in the shade Ruler, and then I think this is the shade, and I think this will not be a rollout for sure. I know, because I have a lot of lipsticks pulled in my, I think 9 or 10 lipsticks. I have a 9 lipstick like holder on top of my desk that I am working on different projects. So then I make sure consciously that I am pulling lipsticks only like maximum 9. I kept it like this because then I'm sure I don't exceed the number 9, because I'm tempted to pull out lipstick, because that is kind of my biggest category. So that lipstick holder is filled with lipsticks. So this will probably not be a rollout next time. Now for bullet lipstick, also we have to reach MAC Ruby Woo 8 more times. Also potentially not a rollout. So those are all the products I will be working on in upcoming month. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Till next time, have a good day, good night, depending on wherever you are, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.